Good morning, everyone. I'm out in my backyard. I'll just do a, you guys know my backyard, but I'm out in the backyard, and this is Geo Ben Sr., and this is Geo Ben Jr. These are actually my names for them. Yardfully is the company that makes them, and it's just a piece of like a rubberized stripping that, as you can see, has plenty of holes in it, and it's a great way to make compost. And it's a little windy out here, but I hope you can hear me okay. Quite a breeze. Beautiful day. It's in the 70s. We're supposed to go up to, I think, 87 today. I'm in Windermere, Florida, so that's central Florida near Orlando. But anyway, I got these last year before, something like that, about a year and a half ago. And I started out with the large one, and boy, you've really got to get in there if you're trying to get the stuff off the bottom. You've got to hang over. If you're a woman, I guess if you're about 6 foot, it would be perfect. But I really like this smaller one because you can really get in there and work it around. I had used all of my compost, and I pretty much cold compost. I don't put a lot of uh, um, kitchen scraps in there. If I do anything, it might be, some coffee grounds that I might have left. But for the most part, all I add are uh, my paper and cardboard that is shredded, and I try to do a mix. I don't like to use just all paper. I like to use some cardboard in there. That way it doesn't stick. Whether I'm making compost or whether I'm making worm castings. Now here you can see this is a little bit more. No, I guess I have it mixed in there too, in this one. But anyway, what I'm going to do, let me just start that again. Uh, I had made it. It was almost up to the top. And the way I make my compost, I'm sorry I'm out here in the sun and I can't quite get myself out of the way. But the way I make my compost most of the time is just um, paper scraps and grass clippings. And if I turn those over and over, and of course our yard is irrigated, so we get, we water a few times a week. And also, I'm in Florida, so we get lots of rain here. This is much more humid area. And and I turn it over. I have this is a yard flea also, and it's an aerator. And it's a nice piece. I've got my camera tripod here, which I also like. Anyway, put that to the side. But it was almost up to the top. And over the winter, over the last 3-4 months, I really haven't added anything to it, and it went down and down and down and down. I was just amazed. And I think, some of it comes out the holes, and my area around here was just, I mean, the weeds were just loaded. And as was all of this area that I affectionately call Juicy Fruit Island, because it's my island, and I have a peach and a pear and a fig tree growing. But what I did is I took the compost and I gave the whole of Juicy Fruit Island maybe close to an inch, mainly in the center, but it kind of worked its way out. This is Brazilian spinach. Started out with just a little tiny piece of it, and it spreads, and it's delicious cooked. I don't like it very much raw, but the leaves are a little thicker than a normal spinach. And so if you cook them, they taste really good. They'll take on whatever flavor you want to give it. But personally, I like bacon flavor. That works for me. But so anyway, so I did that a couple days ago. I spread the compost that was in there, But I did leave maybe maybe I don't know, 4 inches, 6 inches, because I don't have any grass clippings right now. This is winter for us also. So what I did is I was just putting in, there was compost left, loads of worms. I had all the overs that, when I was sifting the compost, I still had some of the paper was left behind. Grass clippings go really quick. I mean, they break down in a heartbeat. But your paper, it takes a little while for it to break down. So what I did is I had 8 bags about like this. Each of those bags holds just over 2 pounds. And as far as my shredder is concerned, and it comes out to be, like 2.25 pounds. So I had 7 of those. So you think that was what, 15 and a half, 16 pounds? And I have 4 left, so that's probably another 9 pounds. But I've added the 7 in there, and then I worked it in with the compost that was left behind. And I actually, I think I had a couple banana peels that I just, well, what the heck, you guys can have it. I had loads of worms. So what I did is I worked that in with about 4 or 5 of them, and bags of shred. And then I could see I was getting really heavy in the paper. And so what I did is I went over here to Senior, and Senior has compost in it also, and it's even older, and it was really starting to get compacted because I hadn't really gotten to the bottom of it. It's hard to hang over there and get it out from me because I'm like 5'5", and I'm hanging over it with the pitchfork and trying to angle it out. So, but what I did is I would take a shovel full and bring it over, and then kind of like swing it, let it, and then when I got it all covered, then I'd add another bag of shred. So I was, layering it like I was doing, a 7-layer cake or something. And so I wanted to show that to you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some super soil to it, which I did last spring. And let me explain this super soil. It's organic fertilizer, soil regenerator, waste transformer, which is just taking your waste and transforming it into soil. This was the company over in the UK, I believe. Might be, does it tell us? Changing Our World. I wanted to say it was Ireland, but I could be wrong on that. My friend in Ireland sent me some of this, and then the company sent me some and asked me to do a plus or minus on it. I thought it was terrific. It broke down my compost here very, very quick. So, I mean, it takes, well, I'll show you. I'll show you how little it takes. Hang on. Can you see that just little tiny bit at the top? Right there, that's just, it's super black powder. I mean, it's incredible. And I take that, and that's all I use in my watering can. And I'm going to then take my stick, take my aerator, and give it a little stir around, and then I'm just going to water it in, and that's going to be it. And the bacteria is supposed to be like billions of bacteria ready to grow in your soil or your plants. I mean, the people who were doing videos on this, they were showing their gardens. That little bag is supposed to do a whole acre. So anyway, that's my project. I'll go ahead and I will. You don't have to stay with me while I water. But if you can get a hold of some super soil, I think they're selling it now here in the United States, and I'm sure if it's over in England, Ireland, Scotland, you're going to be able to get it across Europe. And I also have a friend who's um, she's in Australia, and Flower Folk Farm, Anita, and they sent her some, and she said, oh my goodness, it was just wonderful. So I'm sure they are trying to go worldwide if you can get a hold of it. But anyway, this is my project for today, is that I want to go ahead and finish doing my layering and let me just show you one thing about while I've got this is I just wanted to see if I could bring up a handful and show you. I don't see any worms yet. Oh my goodness, yesterday it was like worm city. I wasn't getting worm balls, but my goodness, I had a lot of worms. I don't see anybody jumping. Do you see anybody jumping? They're making a liar out of me, aren't they? The little stinkers. Well, that's it. Won't make you stay here any longer. But I will bring you back in like a month or so, and we'll go through this. And the way I do it is when I have it like this and I've just put everything together, then I'd really try to come out and fluff it like every couple days or so. Again, it's not a hot compost, but I am in a hot climate. And if you keep it hot and you keep it moist, and like I said, we use our irrigation, so it stays. I don't have to come out here and water it. The reason I was adding the water was to add the super soil to it so that it will break down faster. Now, I've taken from this before, and when I used to just make a mound out of it over on the side of the yard, and I had no structure, about every 6 months I could dig out maybe, I don't know what would be the equivalent of a good wheelbarrow full of compost. But of course here I was able to get a nice amount this time, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to incorporate more of senior into junior and bring junior's level up, and then start working on senior when I start getting my grass clippings and shredded newspaper in volume, because my neighbor Brian brings me his. So anyway, that was it. I'll say goodbye for now, and I hope you'll come back and see me again very soon. And from my yard to your yard, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.